Alabama, Mr. Brooks for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Of course, with all these questions, there's often going to be some degree of overlap. Mr. Bruno, how many launches has ULA done?
94.
How many has it tried?
94.
100% success record?
Yes.
As you've noticed in the media over the last couple of years with respect to various launch efforts by various companies, there have been failures. If there were a failure of the kind of launch that ULA does, what is the cost? What is the damage, the loss?
Typically, it would be in the billions. So launch is on average 10 to 15% of the life cycle cost of a national security space mission.
You said how much in millions?
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars for one lost launch?
Yes.
Ms. Shotwell, last year, Mr. Elon Musk testified to the Senate Appropriations Committee that, quote, no competition will be fair, full, and open so long as the Air Force continues to utilize contract line items to fuel ULA's fixed cost to maintain its launch capability, end quote. As you are aware, the Air Force currently has the EELV Launch Capability, ELC, contract in place to meet government requirements. As I understand the situation, the Air Force plans for competition later this year. Do you think these competitions will be fair or unfair, and why?
Well, it depends on how the Air Force decides to determine how much of the ELC should be allocated to any competed mission. I can't say in advance of reading the request for proposal, but I do anticipate a draft in the next month or so.
Mr. Bruno, do you have an opinion?
I do. I have greater faith in the Air Force Acquisition Corps than my counterpart at SpaceX. I am convinced that they will find a way to create a level and even playing field and create real competition.
All right. Next question. Ms. Shotwell, the Air Force has told us that whoever wins a competition will get a portion of the EELC funding. If SpaceX wins, my understanding is that you will get a portion of that planned funding. Is this correct, and is that fair or unfair?
That's not my understanding at all. We have never sought nor accepted ELC funding.
Okay.
I hope I understand your question.
Well, I'm reading it as written, so that's the best I can do right now.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Bruno, is the EELC contract a subsidy, as SpaceX often refers to it? Please describe the role of this contract.
No, it is not a subsidy. It is, as I have said before, it covers costs that all launch providers have: pads, labs, day of launch operations, fuel and propellants, the infrastructure that supports them. The Air Force has simply chosen to contract for that separately from the production element.
Okay, Ms. Shotwell, and I'm going to give another shot at a different question, but please bear in mind that each of us congressmen have staff, both committee and office, that put these things together to assist us, so hopefully this one you'll be better able to follow. Quote, Ms. Shotwell, I'm aware that SpaceX was surprised that its Falcon 9 version 1.1 was not certified by the Air Force at the end of 2014, despite the fact that weekly teleconferences were conducted by senior SpaceX leadership such as yourself or Mr. Musk with Lieutenant General Sam Greaves of the Air Force Space and Missile Center. Were all the elements of the Cooperative Research and Development Agreement that was signed by the Air Force and SpaceX completed by the end of 2014?
Before I answer the question, I do want to note that SpaceX and the Air Force are working very closely. They're working very hard, and we are working very hard, shoulder to shoulder, to get this vehicle certified to help fix this assured access to space issue. So let's make sure that that's very clear. The surprise that we had in December was that the mode that we were operating in with respect to dealing with open items, it looked like we were going to be able to resolve open items after certification, some open items after certification. I think the Air Force believed in December that they did not want to certify with any open items. And so kind of the practice that we had been following basically did not bear out. However, we have a great understanding with the Air Force right now. We continue to work on certification. And I'd like to be clear, the certification process that we're undergoing right now, which SpaceX is going through, we're not being paid by the Air Force to go through, and ULA had a very different and a much easier certification process when they were new with their rockets. However, so we're working very closely with the Air Force on the certification, and the certification fundamentally addresses all the issues that one would address right up until a flight readiness review, which occurs just a week or so before launch. So not only are we, by going through the certification process, being certified as a provider or maybe even the launch vehicle design, but fundamentally we're being certified as if we were going to be flying in a week or two. And normally when you do an Air Force contract, you receive a contract and then you fly that mission 2 or 3 years later. So it's all I'm trying to say is an incredibly rigorous certification process.
I see my time has expired. Let me conclude with this one remark. Mr. Bruno, United Launch Alliance, thank you for your perfect record in servicing our country. And Ms. Shotwell and SpaceX, thank you for your willingness, your company's willingness to engage in a very risky endeavor in space.
Thank the gentleman.